guys, it's me again. I just reviewed Halloween Resurrection. I can't even say the title, which is a holy abomination. You know, a terrible, terrible film. Just truly god awful in every way. Little to no redeeming qualities. Promising opening, starts out good, then it just gets really crappy real fast. And so, you know, it's such a terrible movie, easily the low point of the original Halloween series. I guess it made sense that they would start all over and remake it. So, and who other than to do that than Rob Zombie himself? Now, first, before I get started, yes, I'm reviewing the 2007 version of Halloween. This is the unrated version. I got the theatrical one as well, but the only real difference is the Michael Myers escape scene. Instead of like with Bill Moseley and Leslie Easterbrook transferring him or whatever, then there's these two guys who work at the asylum. He's trying to rape this girl who's another inmate there, and the ending's different. Aside from that, they're really not all that different. It's not like Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, where the two versions are, have a lot of changes. So I'm not going to have two different videos. I'm not going to talk about both versions in one video. Filming a video! Hold on! Let's get to talk about 2007 version. Both versions are not all that different. So, Rob Zombie directed this. I would have much rather him done a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. He would have been way better at that, because he's good at, doing like white trash characters and over-the-top profanity and vulgarity, and that would have felt more at home in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, with like scumbag characters and trashy people. It doesn't feel good right in a Halloween movie, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, anyway, a little background. I've always been a huge Rob Zombie fan. During the 90s, I was all about some White Zombie. I loved White Zombie. Then, they broke up, and then Rob Zombie released Hellbilly Deluxe. I thought that was a great album. It truly sounded like a horror movie in audio format. It was awesome. His follow-up, The Sinister Urge, was pretty damn good, too. So I was so excited I heard he was filming a movie. House of a Thousand Corpses, I went and saw it. I loved it. It was excellent. Great horror film, very scary, very gory, done very well. Some good, awesome, charismatic characters. The villains are even more interesting than the good guys. And then Devil's Rejects, the follow-up, I love that one too. Took a different direction, but it was still really good, maybe even better in a lot of ways. So I was pretty anxious that Rob Zombie was going to tackle a Halloween movie. As I said, he should have done Leatherface instead, because he clearly didn't understand the Michael Myers character, and that's what I'll get to. I know he wanted to do something different, but he should have at least stayed true to the character. And that's this movie's biggest fault. When I first saw this in theaters, I thought, okay, that was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it wasn't one of the worst remakes. And I thought about it more and more. And then especially after the follow-up came out in 2009, which I'll get to that movie in the next video. Rob Zombie, you almost lost a fan. But anyway, then I started realizing all the problems with this movie. I was like, okay, first of all, look at the character of Michael Myers himself. In the original series, we didn't know what made him so scary. He came from a normal home, a normal family, and all of a sudden he woke up and became evil. He killed his sister. He totally lacked a conscience. He totally lacked emotions, no empathy. He just sat staring at a wall for all those years. He was just a completely pure evil. He was evil incarnate. You couldn't relate to him. He had no conscience. He was just an unstoppable evil killer. And even when they made, Laurie Strode's sister, which I never really cared for that too much. I thought it'd been better if he was just targeting random victims. Kind of made him scarier. Like, I'm safe if I'm not related to him. I'll just stay out of his way. But still, it was still good. But ever to give him an origin or motivations, or he's being controlled, like in Part 6, that really lessens the character for me. And in this one, they couldn't have given him a more generic and cliche background and origin. Okay, let's look at it. A white trash, dysfunctional family, check. Abusive stepfather, check. He's bullied in school, check. He even tortures small animals. Of course this kid's going to become a serial killer. Damn, I will say, though, that the acting by the kid who plays the young Myers, Daeg Faerch, I think his name is, he's actually a pretty good actor, and he was pretty decent, and, I did kind of like him getting revenge on his bullies and stuff, and, slowly descending into insanity. That's kind of what this was, an origin story. So yeah, that kid was a good actor, and, as much as I love seeing, outcasts getting even with their tormentors, Michael Myers isn't supposed to be one of those characters. I love revenge stories, but Michael Myers shouldn't be one of those, and I didn't really want an origin. It's effective because we don't know why he's so evil. We don't know why he kills people. I would rather Jason got an origin, because what, did he drown? Did he not drown? What? Why is he, does his mother know he was alive? What happened there? But instead, the Friday the 13th remake totally skipped over the origin story and rushed right into Jason, killing people. And they got him backwards. And they got the characters backwards, too. Jason was kind of smart and clever and ingenuitive, and Myers is just a big dumbass in this movie. He's, like, almost retarded. And, like, they made him a big moron. I can't stand that. In the original movie, the fact that he knew how to drive a car without ever learning made him so freaking creepy. That made him so much more scary. Like, oh my gosh, in this movie he doesn't drive, of course. He doesn't know how to drive a car. He just walks around everywhere like a big hulking, knuckle-dragging idiot, and which is ridiculous. And he's way too big and too muscular, too. I mean, Michael Myers is supposed to be able to look kind of normal. If he takes his mask off, he could blend in. That makes him so scary. Jason and Leatherface couldn't do that. Myers could. This movie's big and hulking. It's got really long hair. Everybody in Rob Zombie's movies got to have long hair. Don't get me wrong, I love long hair more than anybody. I'm growing my hair back out, too, but come on, not for Michael Myers. Come on now. So yeah, the first part of the half of the movie is kind of an origin story. It shows why he killed his most of his family, except for his mom, played by Sherry Moon, of course. And Rob Zombie's wife's got to be in all his movies, just shoved in there. He kills his sister, and then fast forward to when he's an adult, he escapes the asylum, goes after Laurie Strode and her friends. This time, Annie is played by Danielle Harris from Halloween 4 and 5, which is cool. She played Jamie Lloyd. They should have had her play Laurie, because Scout Taylor Compton is terrible. She's one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. Oh god, she was so horrible. And the dialogue was terrible. Rob Zombie usually writes good dialogue, aside from, the overuse of profanity and way too many F words, but these teenage girls were just annoying. Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like these damn girls did. I mean, god damn. It was awful. It was just awful. The dialogue. And then after the generic cliche origin story, which, I guess was the most interesting part of the movie, even though Myers should not have a motivation, he should not have an origin. The rest of the movie is just a rehash of the first film, only done not as well. Michael Myers in the original film was always kept in the shadows. You never knew where he was. He was just the shape. He was a haunting, dark, mysterious figure who just appeared out of nowhere. In this movie, the whole movie follows him. We always know where he is. And, like, oh god, and he kind of grunts when he stabs. It's just, oh man, he just wasn't. They just didn't get the character right. The rest of the movie was decent. They just did not get the character right. And they got, as I said, they got him backwards. Jason was more like Myers, and Myers is more like Jason in these damn remakes. I can't stand that. Rob Zombie clearly didn't understand the character, and he really almost lost my allegiance as a fan. Still love you, Rob. I love your music. I've got your autograph on my wall. I love all your CDs, even the newer ones. I love all your other movies, but you should have directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not Halloween. And yeah, there's too many, like, trashy cardboard cutout characters who have disgusting dialogue, and oh god, these bullies who were tormenting Myers as a kid. They're talking about his mom and calling her a slut, and so the dialogue was like, was this written by a 14-year-old who thought these words were cool, and wow, I heard an F word. It just seems so immature and childish. It was like, my god, I had to be groaning and cringing in my seat. However, I will say, after Resurrection, this movie is kind of refreshing. It's way better than Resurrection, though that's not accomplishing much. Still, this is one of the worst. I'd put this, I'd get it like maybe a very low 6 out of 10, probably even a 5 out of 10, really. Because, it's the only movie it's really better than is Resurrection, and then, of course, it's terrible follow-up, which I'll get to next. Brace yourself. Brace yourself for an explosion of ranting and rage, because I despise that movie. But yeah, this one's not quite as bad. But the only reason there's anything good about it is because it rehashes a great movie, and it can repeat scenes for a great movie. But yeah, also, Malcolm McDowell was a great choice for Dr. Loomis. He was done really well. He's always a great actor. He played Alex DeLarge in Clockwork Orange. I mean, what else do you need? He was a great Loomis. A worthy successor to the great Donald Pleasance, I might say. So he was a good choice. Rob Zombie, you did good with that casting. Most of their cast is decent. I said Scout Taylor Compton was annoying and grated my nerves. She's not as bad as she's in the sequel. Dee Wallace Stone plays her mother, or foster mother, I guess. Because, yeah, this it makes it clear that she's